Okay, today we are playing a game on Hanamura. We are playing Ana the entire way through, and there is no SR for today's game, because it's a placement game, which is also a delightful excuse to do less effort and say that's why I don't care about the team comp. Hooray, no video editing today. As we can see, we got tanks, we got healers, it's all good, it's all good. We're on the console today, by the way, so consider yourself forewarned. So let's just start the game. Also, no, the video isn't only 10 minutes long, it's split into 2 parts, so don't think that one team's gonna get stomped one way or the other. To be fair, you can still get stomped and have the game take a really long time, though. I'm sure at least a few of you out there have played a game on Volskaya where you never in a million years thought you or the other team was gonna win, but yet it still took like 20 minutes for that game to end. It's very depressing. So, one of our DPS is Genji. Who's the other one? Junkrat. Alright, okay, it evens out in the end then, I guess. Moira's way too fucking far up. So, we don't really do a lot of damage to Reinhardt's shield, but I guess there's not much else for us to be doing with our time right now. I was gonna nitpick how we were shooting, but I mean, I guess we're just trying to break the barrier. There's nothing else for us to be doing at the time. Throwing the Trank at the Doomfist in this situation is a bit overkill, because he's not really being particularly threatening right now. He used all of his abilities, our whole team is turning to focus him, and he's about to be purple, so the Trank would have been a little bit overkill, even if he didn't just, like, die and make us miss anyway, which was very inconsiderate of him, I think. But it would have been a little overkill regardless. So, the enemy team, not seeming too great. Please don't use the grenade to heal people between fights, because if it's between fights, there's no need to use the cooldown, and then you can save the cooldown in case something comes up where you do need it. Doomfist, everybody stop the fucking presses. Doomfist has punched the tire and gotten the kill with it. I have once in my life actually just, like, quick melee'd the tire to kill it before, which was very surprising for all parties involved. So, I mean, I guess, you know, the punch does do enough damage. Rest in fucking peace, Moira! And that's why you don't stand that far up when you're a squishy hero. Especially if you know there's a Doomfist out there somewhere waiting to fist you, as it would happen. So we've got Nano Boost. We have a Genji to ideally combo with. We've managed to Trank Doomfist, and he's been immediately woken up again right afterwards. Everybody who's ever played Ana can sympathize with that. So please don't do this either, where we're walking into the person that we're shooting at, because there's no reason to do that. It just puts you in a scarier position to do it. Again, there is a reason to do it. It makes the person easier to hit, but it puts you in a scarier position almost exclusively. So please do not do that. We also need to heal ourselves right now, because we're at 91 hit points, so either, you know, spam I need healing at Moira, or use the grenade on yourself, or go get a health kit. Do something. There's a few options. We can't just be sitting around at 91 hit points, because that's just easy one-shot range. There's a lot of things that can randomly kill you when you're at, like, less than half health. Moira's finally noticed. Just, like, push the I need healing button at the very least, even if you don't want to actually, like, use the grenade to heal yourself, which would be understandable given how far back we are, but still. So, there's an argument to be made for nano-boosting Moira, but I don't think there was much point for it. Lucio just tried to drop the beat and he immediately died, so that went great for him. If I hadn't told you this video wasn't 10 minutes long, you wouldn't have believed that this wasn't a stomp, would you? Based off of how this has been going so far. Oof. Ana's arm did a real weird thing right there. Just waved it away. So, we've got Nano Boost. We don't have a Genji anymore, so now we actually don't have a fantastic combo. Moira's fucking dead. I don't know why we did any of what we did right here. I'm guessing this was an attempt to make an aggressive play. There wasn't really any reason to Nano Boost D.Va, because nothing was happening, and she didn't do anything with it either. And then we ran up to presumably try and grenade the enemy team or something, but, like, it wasn't really ever going to do anything except put us in a scary place. So, right now, bad spot to pause because the gun was covering it. This boy's up here right now. Tragically, all our cooldowns are currently up, so we can't actually, like, bully him with any of those. What did we use the trank for? We just threw it at Reinhardt's shield, just, like, hoping he'd take it down, it looks like. Don't do that either, because then you don't have the trank for when you would like to use it. Right here. I don't think we noticed him, because we don't look at him, so I think we're focused over there, but that would be a great time to just trank the, Reaper up there upstairs after he's teleported in, and then he'd be hopefully guaranteed dead. But we didn't have it. I also don't think we noticed him, but even if we did, we didn't have it, because we just, like, chucked it at Reinhardt hoping it worked. Oh, Reaper, what are you doing, my man? I think the arrow was floating in midair after that. No, it was just the arrow behind it. I thought the arrow was, like, floating in the air after it killed them, but no. So we're currently shooting people for the sake of shooting them as well right now, because we're not actually, like, we're just using a bunch of ammo right there for no reason. And ammo management is a thing for Ana, because that's kind of like how you do everything. Orissa's currently in dire need of healing, but we're focusing on that boy. Orissa's over there, needs healing. Ammo management does come into Ana, because you kind of need ammo to do, well, anything as Ana. So they're still not exactly making great inroads right now. Soldiers using tac visor, but it wasn't particularly scary. So we're running into the person that we're shooting at, which is dragging us closer to a Mei, which we definitely don't want to be closer to. Reaper's teleporting over there again. We don't have our trank again. Why do we use our trank this time? Maybe I should actually, like, pay attention to how we're using our cooldowns at the time, instead of then going back and being like, well, why don't we have it? So, anyway, we just kind of chucked it at Mei. And, you know, tranking the Mei, I guess, fair enough. She would have, like, probably gotten immediately woken up again. But there's the paradox of playing Ana at the same time, right? So D.Va's basically the best person we have to nano boost, so I'm fine with that. Tragically, we missed the sleep dart on Roadhog right there, which puts us in an unfortunate position. And then Reaper pops out behind us as well. Now, we could intuit that Reaper is coming this way had we noticed Reaper previously, because Reaper teleports up there, he walks off, we never see him again. So there's only one way he can really be going, which is up behind us. So we could intuit that he's going to come up behind us, but in this specific situation, that would not really have helped because other things were happening at the time. But had we noticed where Reaper was going, we could intuit where he's going to flank from because, well, there's only one way he could go, that we would never see him again. And that is around the backside from there. So, we died. Should just change to a faster hero at this point. Doesn't really matter who it is. Doesn't even matter if it's a healer, to be honest with you. Just to try and get back to the fight faster, because the fight could clearly still go either way. It was 4 versus 3, basically, this entire time. So, us just getting back to this fight faster might have been enough for our team to win. At this point, we should just be leaving. Don't even think about it. Just go. Just leave. Just leave. But we should just change to a faster hero. Doesn't even matter if it's a support hero anymore at that point. It just matters if it's a faster hero, because just getting back to that fight in time might have been enough for us to win the fight. And then if it wasn't, we die on there, we change back to a healer if we have to, you know, just go back to business as usual. Because if we get there faster, if it goes badly, we just die over there. Then we can just change to whatever hero we want to after that, and, you know, it all works out. So, I just saw Mei below us, I believe. Yep, May's down there in the ditch right now, because she was just spraying up for some reason. So, I just saw her as well start walking up that way, but she's kind of giving the game away with this wall right here at the same time. Soldier's using tac visor right now, so we tuck into the barrier so he can't shoot us, seeing as we didn't know where he was exactly. Heard somebody get hooked downstairs? It was the tire, I presume, seeing as that just got broken. I don't know, whatever. So, we do ordinarily want to be up on the high ground. This much is true. This is a good place to be, just default. However, we just saw Diva get fucking murdered out there. And we can intuit who's coming up that staircase behind us right now as well, because we see May broke the mech, and then Moira killed Diva. So there's at least 2 of them coming up that staircase in the near future, and one of them is May, whom we very much would like to not be right next to. So we actually don't want to be up here right now. We should be repositioning further back down that way. Let me go back so I can actually illustrate it rather than gesturing vaguely in the direction. This is about the best place we can stand right now, because that's furthest away from the enemy team. We know nobody's trying to come this way, so that place is not threatening to us at all. So if we're standing over here, it's basically impossible for somebody to get to us and surprise us, unless they suddenly start going that way, but we've seen basically everyone at this point. And we can see everything. We can heal everybody. We're safe back there. Good times. Instead, we have stayed up here, presumably not realizing what danger is coming up behind us, but we saw Diva get killed over there, and we can see, based off the kill feed, who is coming up on us soon as well. At the very bare minimum, May's coming. We don't want any part of that, really. The kill feed tells you important information, because it can tell you who is in what location. Like, if you look in the kill feed and see Mercy died to Reaper, that means Reaper's behind you. Unless Mercy was doing some real wild shit. You never know, I suppose, but that probably means somebody is behind you. So Reaper's above us right now. And I don't think we noticed again. We didn't have our trank, though, because we just used it for something else, I believe. Yeah, we tried to trank that guy right there. To be honest with you, I don't want to try and trank Roadhog right there. I'd rather just throw the grenade at him to make sure he dies, because killing their Roadhog, he's, I think, their only tank at this point. So I'd like to kill him rather than trank him. So, I mean, you could argue the trank would kill him, but, like, the grenade is just so much easier to use to kill somebody. It's one of those things where, like, I would rather take the almost sure deal that somebody dies, rather than take the slightly lower chance of them dying, but, like, is theoretically more efficient. I'd rather just make sure they fucking die, to be honest with you. Because killing somebody is just, like, generally the most impactful thing you can do in the game. So if we throw the grenade at Roadhog, we can then look up here and trank that boy. I don't think we noticed him again, because I think we're looking over here more than up here, but if we threw the grenade at him, Roadhog dies rather than gets away, because, like, the grenade is just so easy to hit. And then we could trank the Reaper teleporting above us, or trank somebody else over here during this whole thing. And then also, Roadhog would just be dead right now. He's dead now, so he died in the end, but he survived a lot longer than he really had any right to survive. But he died in the end, so, you know. So Diva's gone off and gotten herself separated and killed because, you know, they have a May. Such is life. Diva should be used to getting bullied around by a May, really, but apparently not. So we've got Nano Boost. That's unfortunate. Basically, it's just like react faster on that kind of thing. Or be looking around really proactively to see him flanking. Did anything happen to give away that this was coming? Maybe I didn't see him teleport somewhere? No, I don't think so. I think he must have teleported around the right-hand side and just walked up to us. So we are, like, really fixated on the main entrance right here, though. Because, like, the two things here are look around more frequently or react better. Reactions are kind of hard to improve, but something that's much easier to improve is just looking around more proactively. Because we were just, like, staring fixedly at the main entrance for a while, rather than actually, like, looking around. And that's important for healers to do, because you're the ones most likely to be getting flanked, so you really don't want to get taken by surprise. So we don't need to go down onto the point right now, because we still have people on the point. So, very minor thing here, because we just, like, walk off the edge, but this is, like, a minor adjustment that would have made us much harder to kill, blanketly, right? Rather than just, like, walking off here. That's what has happened to the pen. Why would I ever want to draw in black? You're never gonna see, like, alright, look, oh, nice and clear, very easy to see. But you know what? Instead, we could just go with, like, that. That doesn't stand out great against this map, I suppose. Here we go. Look at that. There we go. Much better contrast. So, rather than just, like, walking off the edge here, we can just walk over here. heal Reinhardt, right? Because we're going to nano boost him to make sure he survives, right? He's also just generally the best person for us to nano boost with our team right now. So you just walk over here. We can nano boost him and heal him without dropping down, which means we can always retreat back this way for safety. It's not like we need to touch the point or die, right, or like lose right now, because they're touching the point right now and they aren't even anywhere in progress yet. So we don't need to go down there and touch it yet. We could just go here, boost him, heal him, and then if we're threatened, we can walk back. If we jump off this way, we have, like, no options anymore. Our options are stand on the point and fight, right? Because we can't even just, like, jump back up again. We have to suddenly go, like, out of our way to get back up the staircase again. So we could just, like, go over here. And then we have more options available to us. And more options is always better than less options. I'm guessing we just, like, were thinking about getting to the dude as quickly as possible, but we could have been much safer if we stayed up there. We could have avoided being stuck in this blizzard entirely, because we could have just stood up where Moira was standing, and then we would have survived this altercation instead of dying. So, anyway, fight's still going well in our absence. Conveniently enough, we also have Moira on our team, who is also a main healer and also can output enough healing to, like, easily deal just by herself. So, I would have probably chucked the grenade at Soldier right here, to be honest with you, rather than over there at my team, just because if you hit that dude with the grenade, rather, he's, like, basically fucking dead. You could argue you should be more concerned with trying to keep our team alive, and that's a fair assessment, given that we're playing a support, but hey, I just want the dude dead, what can I say? I have a very direct thought process here, I just want the guy dead, he's the only one that was still there. So we don't want to stand on the point still. Standing on the point is the scariest place we can stand. We want to be standing up on, like, the ramp behind us, bare minimum. Like, we don't want to stand on the point unless we absolutely have to, because that's the scariest place to stand. That's what the tanks are for. Let them do that shit, right? And then we come forward and touch it if we have to. Because there's safer places we can be standing. We are just, like, shooting for the sake of shooting a lot of this time as well. Like, all of this right here. It's just like, shooting for the sake of it. It's important to have some trigger discipline, just, like, in general when you're playing this video game, but particularly for someone like Anna, who is, like, ammo management is a big thing for Anna, seeing as she needs it to heal people. So if you have to reload at a really awkward time, and, like, if your grenade is on cooldown as well, that dude's just fucking dead, right? There's nothing you can do about it. So I would hold off on this nano boost a little bit longer, just because Reinhardt's in no position to do anything with this nano boost at the very start. It's not like we're nano boosting to keep this dude alive. He's still basically full health right now. But he's so far back that he has to actually physically get to those people before he can do anything, and May's wall is in the way right now. So I would hold off on that nano boost for a little bit longer. Like, as soon as you hear the dude Earth Shatter, because he did just Earth Shatter over there, it's better to wait for the Reinhardt to engage the fight, rather than nano boosting the Reinhardt, like, okay, Reinhardt, engage the fight now. Let him engage the fight, and then nano boost him after that. And again, we could have just not been standing on the point this entire time, and we would have been way harder to kill than we were right there. Would we have still died? Possibly, but we would have been way safer if we were just standing, like, back here the entire time. Again, we don't need to be touching the point. The game's, like, the round's basically over at this point, but, like, you know, still. Anyway, so we're gonna do a very subtle scene transition right here. Yeah, I got, like, infinity YouTube videos open. What about it? Don't, you know, fight me. So, now we must attack Hanamura, which is almost as fun as defending Hanamura. So we've got, what was that there? We've got, like, a kind of awkward team, because we got, like, the two dive tanks, but then, like, no other dive heroes, because, like, Reaper's too slow to really count as, like, a dive hero. Junkrat, I guess, could count, but, like, not really. So it's a little bit awkward. Probably, like, doesn't matter that much based off of how things went, but, you know. So there, we just kind of came around the corner and tranked, like, hoping it would hit someone, it looked like. Anna's cooldowns are really impactful. You don't want to throw them out there just, like, hoping they accomplish something. So they have a Bastion. This is extremely inconvenient. He's in that room over there right now. our team has got no idea how you fight that Bastion, based off of just, like, everything we've seen in the last 30 or so seconds, really. Because that was, like, the classic, I don't know what to do versus Bastion thing, where they just, like, all ran at him in a straight line. So I, like, super don't want to use the Trank like this right now. Because, like, this is, in general, really unlikely to hit the Soldier, just in general. But more directly than that right now, I really want to save the Trank to use on Bastion. Like, at this point, I would only use the Trank on another person if I needed to do it to survive. Because we've really got to do something about the Bastion situation, and the Sleep Dart is one of the best things to do. Because, hey, now he's doing fucking nothing, right, for a while. And, you know, your team might immediately wake him up again, such as the curse of playing Ana. But, like, I'm not going to use the Trank for anything other than that. Looks like we realized he was there a little bit too late. The Bio Grenade is, like, just as good, provided your team actually focuses the Bastion. Hit or miss, to say the very least. So, Reaper and Winston have managed to sneak their way in the backside. They've lost someone on their team. This is extremely convenient for us. Because our team, well, they aren't the sharpest witticisms in the Book of After Dinner speeches. Let's say the very least. So again, we kind of like chuck that out there, hoping it hits somebody. We don't want to do that. The Trank's already hard enough to use, right? And like, oh, we'd really like to have it right now, wouldn't we? We'd really like to be able to Trank that dude. We are, again, just also, like, really far up. Because we're, like, right next to all these close-range people. And we don't have to be that close. We could just be sitting back here on, like, the other side of the rock garden. And then it would be way less likely for us to die. We wouldn't be able to see our team if they, like, go around the walls on the side of the point. But, like, by that point, we already basically lost the team fight. Like, let's be real. So, like, if Winston goes around that corner and we can't see him to heal him, motherfucker, that's your own fault as far as I'm concerned. So, but mostly it's just like, they were all there, and they're all, like, really scary, close-range people that I don't want any part of. So, Winston's almost dead, but, like, so is fucking everybody right now, right? Like, people gonna have to start taking fucking numbers at this rate. And Soldier uses Attack Visor, we die, like, you know, try and always make sure you're near something that you can just get behind to use as cover, in case something like that happens, because we did have to go, like, a little bit out of our way to get to cover, and then it was already too late. But, like, simultaneously, you know, whatever. Like, based off of how that fight was going up until that point, we lost regardless, so it's kind of hard to be super upset about it. So Winston staggered himself, as we can see. Diva's working very hard on staggering herself right now. We're here to heal her, so she does at least manage to kill Soldier, but she's fucking dead at the same time. So, isn't it amazing how all the time can just sort of slowly ebb away from you? I don't feel like we've actually been here that long. We actually have less than a minute left. Isn't it amazing how quickly time goes? So I just heard their Reaper doing something. I think their Reaper is above us right now. I'm not entirely sure. I definitely heard the other Reaper somewhere. I think he is above us or behind us right now. Because their Reaper was there, it was muffled, so it wasn't our Reaper. You also, like, they don't sound, like, exactly the same when they're on your team versus the enemy team. He was hanging out. He might have still been above us, because he could have been up there and jumped down. I definitely heard him. I'm not crazy. As far as I know, anyway. I guess you don't... The crazy person doesn't ever think he is crazy, though, does he? So maybe I'm crazy. Who knows, really? So we tried to Trank the Reaper, I think, but we ended up getting somebody else instead. But hey, he just got focused to death instead. Mercy was purple, so she was pretty fucked on that account right there. And hey, Roadhog's still here, but the rest of his team is kind of fucking dead. Diva has, like, wasted her ultimate. It killed Roadhog, I guess, so that's me fucking shown, right? A very brave maneuver to walk forward and try to Trank the Bastion, but I mean, I would have also done the same thing, because that's, like, the only threat left at that point, so if he's Tranked, what's he gonna do, right? He died regardless. He didn't actually get Tranked, he just got focused to death. And he wasted his ultimate. Quite a few of their team wasted their ultimates right there, so that's convenient. I don't know what our team's looking like for ultimates right now. I guess we just found out right there, didn't we? Hold on. We have no ultimates, and we're not very close to any of them. We're close to ours. Junkrat, 50% is pretty close for Junkrat. It's not like he takes very long to build up ult charge, right? So, us and him are pretty close, but nobody else is, like, anywhere close to having their ultimates. So we are unlikely to just, like, snowball victory on them right here, unless they do something cataclysmically stupid, which is always possible. Brent the Monkey over there and Reaper have... Moira has attempted to reach them, foolishly enough. They are, like, in a completely unreachable location for us right now. It's just completely out of the way. Try, you know, if you're playing on this map and you're gonna go left, do consider your healers are unlikely, at best, to be able to reach you. So, think about that when you go left. You better be able to, like, sustain yourself, because your healers probably can't get to you. Unless it's like Farah and Mercy comes across with you, you know, fair enough. But otherwise, unlikely. Unlikely. Like, so many times I've seen the fucking Genji over there spamming I need healing, as if him pushing the I need healing button is just gonna spawn a Mercy on the map right next to him to heal him, you know? Like... Motherfucker, I, like, super can't get to you right now, but that's beyond most Genji players, that level of, cognition, so you know. So at the very least right now, we can't lose, so that's very nice, because they didn't even capture the first checkpoint. So we can trank Bastion right here, which would make it a lot easier for our team to do stuff if they don't have to worry about the Bastion. And this is, like, Ana's pretty good against Bastion, because both of her cooldowns kind of fuck Bastion up. I don't know why we're doing this. We shouldn't be doing this. Please don't do that. We're like trying to flank on Ana. We do not need to do any such thing. We could see the Bastion perfectly easily from outside, so it's not like we were trying to creep up on him. And just more baseline, Ana's not a flanker. You know? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't like that. So, Moira, she's basically on her own at this point. Zarya's fucking dead as well. Moira's just sitting on the health kit in there, waiting for it to respawn, basically. Oh no, here he comes. Oh god. That's where you, like, throw it at your own feet, rather than at the Reaper, because we're so low at that point that if we don't heal ourselves, Reaper will kill us regardless. And just, like, hopefully hit the dude. Ideally, you hit yourself and the Reaper with the grenade, but that would have been difficult to pull off from that particular angle, and it's not like you want to walk into the Reaper to make sure you hit both of you with the grenade. So, sometimes life is just difficult like that. So our team is trying to fight without us, which isn't going super well. We have a Reaper, and Reaper has Death Blossom right now, so this is, you know, some old-school Beyblade strats could be done right now. If, you know, Reaper isn't, like, fucking dead, which he's working on. He's trying very hard right now. Their Reaper is trying a little bit harder, though. So, still nano boost the dude right there, regardless. Like, it's evident that this isn't gonna be fantastic. This is, like, the best we're gonna do, though. And it's not like Reaper can't kill people without his ultimate, especially if he's nano-boosted, right? At the very least, the dude will probably not die, right? And maybe he picks up a kill or two with it still. This is, like, the best we're gonna get with this nano-boost. And if nothing else, we make sure the dude doesn't die. We do decide to nano-boost him in the end anyway, but we could have gotten a little bit of, Death Blossom time out of that still as well if we did it a little bit sooner. So I'm gonna say again, we don't need to be standing on the objective, which negates, like, this entire risk factor right here, right? We're running into Bastion right now, which is not productive. We could have tranked the dude, we could have thrown the grenade, whatever, from, like, real far away and not been affected by that. This is also, like, we could just, like, throw the grenade at our own feet right now. We would heal ourselves, we would heal Reaper, and if anybody is standing close to us, they will get the healing buff at the same time, which makes us way less likely to die. Because we were so very low. Like, even if we actually just healed ourselves, I think we would have survived that Death Blossom, because he actually kind of only just barely killed us. As we can see, we won regardless, but we didn't take great steps to make sure that we stayed alive during that team fight, and we die in the end. There's a lot of, like, walking into the person that we're shooting at, and I think also not noticing how much health we were at, because it's hard to imagine that we wouldn't have thrown the grenade there at our feet if we knew. But we won regardless, so, you know, don't get punished, don't have to learn. So, I do want to look... Yeah, it goes on. I want to look to see how much healing we did at the end of the game, because the question in the email is just, was the amount of healing I did good for the length of the game? We did... That's all we did, because we didn't change up. I was like, that's as Anna, but that's all we played, so... Two full 8-minute rounds. Yeah, that's about right. That's about what I would expect it to be for an Anna out of, like, 2 full rounds. It sort of can tick up exponentially depending on how many, like, times you switch back and forth, but we just did, like, 2 full 8 minutes, so that's about what I would expect it to be. Yeah, for an Anna. Or Moira as well, that's about what I would expect to see, like, Anna or Moira do for that one. Mercy I'd expect to do a little bit less, probably around 11k on average for Mercy, but what would I expect a Zenyatta or Lucio to do? I'd probably expect them to do about 9k-ish over that length of time. Maybe a little bit less than that for Lucio, depending on how aggressive he's being. But yeah, that's about what I would expect it to be. So, things that stood out the most, we use our cooldowns kind of frivolously, and there's a lot of, like, walking into the people we're shooting at, as well as, I'll say generally just, like, lack of awareness, because I think it's hard to tell, because, I mean, I don't know what you were thinking about at the time, but there's a few times it looks like we didn't notice what was happening around us, and we weren't looking around as actively as we could have done as well. There was also a fair bit of just, like, shooting for the sake of shooting, which is not particularly productive for Anna, because her ammo management is one of the bigger skills for Anna, really. Seeing as everything she does is tied to that. Having to reload at an awkward time, like, super easily leads to somebody dying. So, thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly or have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us, and I hope you found the video helpful.